The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Seeing the crowds, Jesus went up the hill. There he sat down and was joined by his disciples. Then he began to speak. This is what he taught them. How happy are the poor in spirit! Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Happy the gentle, they shall have the earth for their heritage. Happy those who mourn, they shall be comforted. Happy those who hunger and thirst for what is right, they shall be satisfied. Happy the merciful, they shall have mercy shown them. Happy the pure in heart, they shall see God. Happy the peacemakers, they shall be called sons of God. Happy those who are persecuted in the cause of right. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Happy are you when people abuse you and persecute you, and speak all kinds of calumny against you on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven. The Gospel of the Lord. Today, Matthew presents us with a program of life. This is the program that Christ himself lived while he was here on earth. It was compiled by Matthew from observing the life of Jesus, how he behaved, his attitude, his way of dealing with people, his way of living, a total way of living. And the reason why Jesus Christ was crucified innocently, it is because of this program that he followed from day one in his public life. And he invited all of us to join him, to follow him. He invited great saints, great geniuses, great intellectuals, poor people, rich people, all the world. If you want to follow me, follow this program. Here I give you the carta magna. Here I give you what you need to do. And a few years ago, Bishop Fulton Sheen, who was famous when television talks started in the United States, he used to have a very popular program on the Gospel, on the Word of God, and also he wrote several books. He made a comparison of what are the Word's values and Christ's values in this program as he presented it to us in the Beatitude. And he mentioned the Word's preferences. Here they are. The Word's preferences, and this not only in the time of Jesus, but in all times. Jesus wrote these Beatitudes because in his time he saw these values that we have, that we see today in the world. Maybe today they are more accentuated, maybe we feel them more, but they are the same ones that Jesus noticed in his time. Wealth, power, banality, hatred, injustice, pleasure without control, violence, opportunism. And then he put Christ's program next to them. And there they are, with wealth and power that we see even today. Christ is proposing to us to live in poverty of spirit. He is not condemning rich people or riches. He is condemning those people who attach their soul and their heart to wealth, to richness. And so even a poor man who has very little, he can be attached to the little he has, to the power he has. And that is not the way Christ is asking us to do. Be poor in spirit. Be simple in life. Be humble. And then we have banality. Banality comes when we are hard at core, when we find it difficult to forgive. And Jesus is proposing to us, not eye for an eye or tooth for a tooth. He said, no, forgive even your enemies, those who hate you, those who cause you harm. Hatred, mellowness of heart, Jesus. Mellowness of heart is several times Jesus, and we find it also in the Old Testament, when we find in the Psalm, I will change your heart of stone in a heart of flesh. That's what Jesus wanted to do to his disciples, to the people. I change your heart. Put a heart of flesh instead of a heart of stone. When we close our heart, when we look at others and find it difficult to forgive, we have a heart of stone. When we look at others and we fail to be compassionate, we have a heart of stone. And so the mellowness of heart is what Jesus is proposing. And then we see it so blatantly in our days and in so many times in the world, in so many countries in the world, the injustice that exists, especially the way the world's wealth is being distributed. We have 8 people in the world who are ultra-millionaires, and they can feed and they can solve all the problems of injustice in the distribution of wealth in the world in a minute, if they can just share. The eight of them just share all that they possess. This is the injustice that exists in the world, and Jesus is proposing not to solve all the problems of injustice that exist in the world. Jesus does not expect that from each one of us, but he expects from each one of us to pray for justice in the world, to do our little part in being just with others, never to be unfair, never to be harsh to others, but be fair to others, be just to others, in our little way of living, in our families themselves, wherever we are. And then we thirst for justice. We look for justice in every sphere of life, on the place of work, in business, in every corner where we live. We thirst that justice prevails in every situation of our life. And then we have pleasure without control, and how easy we can see this today. Push button pleasure. We can see it here in Pacheville. We see it rampantly more than anywhere else, maybe. We have food and drinks galore all the way without control. Food, drinks, and so many other things, pleasure, pornography, for example, on the internet, push button, and we have pornography going there galore, ruining the lives of people in their soul, and maybe even relationships and family life. We have this is the word that is proposing to us. Instead of using the good things that we have in life, using them to ruin our own life and our peace of heart. Violence, we have violence all the way. There are 66 wars going on in the world at this moment in time. Imagine, we speak only of the First World War and the Second World War that we knew, maybe second personally, as I did. But today, there are many more wars going on. 66 wars are going on in different parts of the world today. And so we need to pray more, to work more for peace, first in our hearts, and then to promote it also in other sections of living. And the last is, we live opportunism. So many people live with this opportunism way of living, without any principle, without any morals, just being selfish, looking only for their own gain and for their own benefit, without taking care of others, but compromising all the time with their conscience, with their faith, and with everything they live, as long as it is for their own selfish benefit way of living. And Jesus, as I said at the beginning, he was crucified because he lived this life. And the millions of Christians that are being persecuted at the moment in many parts of the world is because the other people notice them living this way of living, forgiving and living as Christ lived, and they are persecuting them because the world does not accept this way of living. So this is the program of life that we should all embrace. First myself, I need to embrace it all. I wish I can truly say and honestly say that I live it all. I wish I can say it. No, we need to work on it. Sorry. We need to work on this so that we can live it to the full. Let's read the last prayer. Oh my God, I offer you this day, all the time I think or do or say, uniting it with what was done by Jesus Christ, your only Son. Take my body, Jesus, eyes and ears, and take. To me,